In today's video, man, as y'all can see, man, we is making 2 videos in one day. I know y'all love when I do this. I mean, it might be dropped on a different day, but they say we is being productive. Today's video is about using the power of silence, man. A lot of people don't understand how silence can be a power. A lot of people believe being the loudest person in the room is the most intimidating thing to do. But what I can tell you is when you're using the art of silence, you're using the power of silence, you also have the art of surprise. And one thing I can tell you is when you catch a person off guard, when you're the most quiet person in the room, usually a lot of people see that as weakness, but what people don't understand is silence is power because it gives you a strategic advantage, bro. People don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what's in your head. They don't know how you feel. And I think that's one of the best things about being silent. And I'm going to tell you folks exactly how you can use silence to take yourself to the next level or put yourself in a position to where you could win. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that communication skills is one of the biggest things that carry me to where I'm at in life, bro. Being able to talk to people, being able to know how to hold my emotions, being able to know how to just use my emotions correctly is one of the reasons why people are able to not be able to bother me as much. People aren't able to read me, but being that type of person allows me to be able to get in a lot of rooms because a lot of people can't find weakness. If people can't find weaknesses or things to use against you, man, it makes you a more powerful person. So we're finna tell y'all the 6 ways that silence can be powerful. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Rule number 1, never defend yourself. I know a lot of people gonna be like, what you mean by never defend yourself? But if anyone tells you anything about yourself that you don't like, one thing I want you to understand is if you defend yourself, you show people weakness by showing them that you care about what they're saying. I think one of the best things I could do is, especially being a content creator and coming up on the internet, this was a skill that got me real far, is by having the art of not giving a fuck. Like, not caring about what people think, not caring about what people say, knowing that I don't have to wake up with these people don't pay my bills. And one thing I want you to understand is when you're living a life on the internet, when you live in life in general, you your own person. Everybody ain't gonna like you and everybody ain't gonna like what you're doing. So what I want you to understand is being able to let people talk about you and not defend yourself, let people have their opinions on you, let people think what they gonna think. It gives you more power in the situation because people are actually more bothered when you don't care. So one of the best things you could do instead of defending yourself is just be like, man, you got it. That rubs a person way more wrong than you actually giving them a response. So I think one of the best things to do in a situation where a person is trying to harm you or a person is trying to get in your head, let them have it. You get what I'm saying? Next thing we're going to talk about is never complaining. Don't be overheard complaining, not even to yourself. And I think one of the biggest things about never being heard complaining is because when you're complaining, bro, it is a sense of weakness, bro. One thing I want you to understand about complaining is one of the easiest things to do, bro. It's easy to talk about what you're going through. It's easy to talk about what your issues are in your situation. You want to know what's hard about complaining? Fixing it. The harder thing is fixing it. So I think the best thing to do is if you have the ability to change your situation, do it. Because one of the best things about having the growth mindset is, see, when you're complaining, all you're doing is thinking about the problem. People with a growth mindset put themselves in a position where they encounter a problem, they try to think about how to fix it. That dude is sitting there talking about something, bro, today sucks. Today was terrible. It's some dude that's the complete opposite of bro. Instead of sitting there talking about today is terrible, I hate today.
Okay, bro, you know what I'm saying? We gonna get it right though, you feel me? We gonna get you to the point where you doing anything you wanna do, you feel me? That's the point. So I'm about to start my screen recording. I got a system, an easy 3-step system on how you gonna achieve your goals and how we gonna basically just make everything you want come into fruition, my nigga, you feel me? As long as you put in that work, as long as you got that drive, as long as you got that determination, man. Like I said, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe over here on AB Academy. I love this channel, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I love this channel. You know what I'm saying? I love talking about stuff like this. If y'all don't know, I am a YouTuber with other channels, you know what I'm saying, on the entertainment side. But I talk about productivity all day with my friends. Every day I talk about becoming your better self all day, every day with my friends. So I love to do it on a larger scale like this. So let's get into it. As you can see, my screen recording is going. Got a perfect 3-step system. So this is to how I achieve your goals. So let's start with step number 1, which is the goals. So first of all, you got to know what you want. You got to know your goals. If y'all see my first video on here, I told y'all to write down y'all goals. You know what I'm saying? Write down y'all top 10 goals. Read them bitches every day, bro. You know, you got to have direction when you wake up. You got to know what you're working towards. You feel me? So how we going to actually achieve these is like this. I'm gonna just make up a couple goals right now. So this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to come up with y'all top 3 goals. 1, 2, 3. This is how we gonna start. Y'all top 3 goals. I'm gonna make up any goal. So goal number 1 is save $5,000. I'm making up goals. So say your first goal is $5,000. Your second goal is to, we're gonna do it like this too. I'm making up goals off the top of my head. We're gonna do it like this. This is how I do it. Your first two goals is gonna be business related. Your last goal is gonna be personal related. So another business goal is to get to 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. Subs. So 20,000 subs, $5,000, and our last goal is going to be a personal goal. We're going to make that to become a better version of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So how can I condense that? Become better. Become a better us. Right? So that's the best goal on this motherfucking list, by the way, to become a better you. You always want to become a better you, upgrade your person, you feel me? So as you can see, we got 3 goals that we just came up off the top of our head. Make sure you're doing this at home, but do it with your own goals. You know what I'm saying? So keep this framework, but do it with your goals. So goal number 1 is to save $5,000. Goal number 2 is to get 20,000 subscribers. Goal number 3 is to become a better us. Okay, cool. Now you got step number 1 down. We're going to copy and paste this. And we're going to paste it right here to the systems. What are systems, AB? Systems are things that you do in order to get that goal. A goal is one thing, but a system is another, bro. Without systems, your goals don't mean nothing. That's my theory, bro. You know what I'm saying? And systems are way more important than the goals. So as you can see, we split it up into 3 different sections. So let's start with the first one. As you can see,
welcome to the dojo, baby, man. Have no fear, Taekwondo is here, you dig? Overthinking is underperforming. It is scientifically proven that the harder you try, the worse you do. And I'm gonna bring this research to y'all. I'm gonna bring an interesting conversation to y'all that I believe will change your life. If you are a type of person who feels like you keep trying, no matter how hard you try to break a habit or change a habit, it doesn't change. No matter how much you prepare, when the moment comes and it's time to perform under pressure, you choke. Pause, no diddy. You choke, you sell, you know, it just doesn't show up. There's no match in your performance. It always feels like you get to that moment and it just isn't there. Well, I have some research to back this conversation up, and I want to bring it to y'all as these videos have been doing a lot better and performing better. Shout out to my man Leak, who's been killing it on the editing side. Shout out my thumbnail guy, Riot PSD. Y'all can't have him, he's locked in with me. You know what I'm saying? Back up. You know what I mean? But let's get into today's topic. I feel like what makes this most helpful is there's so many people I talk to either on Patreon or I read the comments and just in my experience in life, in my own issues with procrastination, overthinking, you know, feeling stuck, feeling like I'm in a loop and just, you know, trying to improve at something or perfect something and just being in my own way, the you versus you mentality. And there's this conversation I want to start about the ego mind versus what I'm going to call the spirit mind or the mind's eye in a sense. And it'll make sense why I call it that. I'm going to use this story of my own personal life to where this to me was probably one of the highest moments of anxiety in my life. I'm talking about like, I was probably this close to a fucking anxiety attack to like just losing my mind, just being in my own head. And I'm gonna give this example to show you the difference between the ego mind and the spirit mind and how powerful it is to when you can shift your perspective on it and be more in alignment with your spirit mind rather than your ego mind and what you can do to do that and what difference does it make. I remember I had a speech, right, that a lady at my university introduced me to or you know, recommended me for the opportunity. And this was probably my first out of the classroom official public speech. Like, this was serious. This was like way out of my pay grade, way out of my league at the time, or for what I thought was my league or my sense of self at the time, right? I didn't know what I was walking myself into. And to take it even a step further, with this same exact speech, right, I was the only student and the youngest speaker on the stage. The other speakers were, one was the president of my university. 2 other speakers were in Congress. They were senators. One was like the president of the SGA, you know, Student Government Association, or something like that on campus, you know. So everybody there was older than me, more experienced, and probably just as nervous, to be honest. You know what I mean? Because there was news channels there. This was written in an article, the Philadelphia Inquirer. It was like a big deal, right? And example of the ego mind is the narrative of good and bad. Do this is good. The ego mind is very critical. It's very wordy. It's telling you what's right and what's wrong. It's telling you what to remember, and constantly just talking and talking and talking. You know that feeling of anxiety, you know that feeling of nervousness where it's just...
Our first goal is to save 5K. So in order to save 5K, what can you do every day to ensure, literally, what can you do every day so that this goal is easily attainable? That is the process, that is the purpose. What can we do every day to make sure that we can save $5,000? Cool. Number one, we could stick to a budget. I know that's kind of hard for people to do, but we do hard shit over here. This AB Academy, you know what I'm saying? Stick to a budget. That's number one. And we trying to do everyday things. We looking for everyday tasks, everyday systems that we can do to eventually achieve that goal. So number one, we can stick to a budget. Number two, to save $5,000, we can put in 1 hour a day to a high income skill. What does this mean? Every day for at least an hour, I will dedicate myself to learning a high income skill. This could be YouTube, this could be copywriting, this could be drop shipping, this could be anything that's gonna generate you extra money, you feel me? Anything that you're interested in that'll generate you extra money. I'm high and interested in because on the days where it ain't generating no money, you're interested in it, so you're gonna keep going. You feel me? So 1 hour a day to a high income skill. You know what I'm saying? How can we save $5,000? What is another thing that we can do to save $5,000? Let's see. We can stick to a budget so we know what we're spending money on, we know what we're saving. We could spend an hour a day on a high income skill, and we could also, let me think. Only consume money. You are what you think about all day. You are what you do all day. Don't talk to people that's talking about bullshit. You know what I mean? Don't talk to people that's talking about gossip. Don't talk to people who talking about the news, who talking about stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Talk to people about money. Talk to your friends. Hey, dog, how you feeling, man? Look, how you feel if we start this business and we do this and do this, do that? You know what I'm saying? How you feel if we start this? How you feel about this, man? Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Talk to people about reasonable shit. Cut the music off. Listen to a podcast about credit. You know what I'm saying? Real spill. If you do this, if you take in, you know what I'm saying, informational content, if you take in shit about making money instead of goddamn wasting money, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you'll make some more money. You feel me? So these are 3 actionable steps that you can do on a daily basis to achieve that goal. All right, cool. Next, YouTube. My expertise, nigga. So how can we get 20,000 subscribers on YouTube? One, we could make a video every day. Make a video every day. I got messages coming through and shit. Let me put my shit on D&D. We can make a video every day. What does making a video every day have to do with getting 20,000 subscribers? If you make a video on a daily basis, you're going to figure out what video is good, what video does good on your channel, especially if you have 0 subscribers. If you have 0 subscribers, throw a video on that bitch every day. See what people like, see what they don't like. Do more of what they like, do less of what they don't like. That is the basic premise of getting subscribers. Okay, cool. Number 2, what can I do to get 20,000 subscribers every day? You could come up with, matter of fact, we can study YouTube. I was about to say come up with video ideas, but study YouTube. What does studying YouTube mean? Kind of synonymous with the first one, make a video every day. Make a video every day and study it. You feel me? Study the people who doing good on YouTube, study what they doing, try to implement it to your channel. If you do this every day, bro, you're going to just gain subscribers. Number 3, how to get 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. Talk about YouTube. Talk about YouTube. Be around YouTubers. Submerge your brain into YouTube. How can I submerge my brain into YouTube? I don't know that many YouTubers. Join AB Academy. Link in the description. It's $1 a day, $30 a month. For $30 a month, you will talk to so many YouTubers every day. You will talk to me. You know what I'm saying? If I had an opportunity to talk to a big YouTuber every day, bro, be on call with this YouTuber every week, bro, I would have did that shit easy back in the day, bro. You feel me? That would have been a no-brainer to me, you know what I'm saying? So talk about YouTube every day.
The spirit mind works through imagery. The example I let her give is, let's say I put on the screen a picture of a little baby, or somebody else famous, like Kevin Hart or something like that. You could see the picture of these people's faces and come up with 20 words faster than I could say it out my mouth, or faster than I could think it in my head. Now, listen, I don't study Little Baby. I don't think about Little Baby every day all the time. But for some reason, just by seeing the picture of his face, a bunch of words may come to my head. I may think of Atlanta. I may think of a rapper. I may think of dreads. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, baby on baby on baby. Like, I might think of all this shit. But where is that information stored? It's stored in the same places that inner confidence. The shit we unlock when we learn to trust ourselves, when we step into our spirit mind. That's very image-based. That works through pictures, that works through, like we say. I'll give you another example. This Floyd Mayweather clip I want to point out.
You sit, you listen, you learn. There's only 3 ways you can learn: hearing, seeing, and doing. That's what makes me so deadly in boxing. I can learn all 3 ways. I can watch, I can learn, I can hear, and I can learn. And if you show me it, if you show me a hands-on, I can learn. So I'm deadly in all 3 ways.
Notice how he said, I learned from watching, listening, and doing. The watching and the doing part is tapping into the spirit mind. It is not of the spirit to practice and prepare for something and then overthink it. It is of the spirit to practice and prepare through action, right? And imagining and visualizing how we want something to play out. And then when that moment comes, to tell ourselves to trust ourselves, to relax into our body. Because like I said earlier, overthinking is underperforming. The harder you try, the worse you do. The reason being, when we try hard, when we go for this extra effort, when we overthink, it tenses up our body. Remember that sensation of anxiety? There's a physical tenseness we get with that. Our heart rate speeds up. Our mind is all over the place. So as this physical sensation is being triggered, our bodies get more tense. And the more tense we are, the more stiff we are, the slower we are. When we are in a place of relaxation, in control, and we are calm, when our breathing is deep and of the diaphragm, in the lower parts of our lungs, this is when we are in a place of at our best, our highest performance, our quickest, our sharpest. Because just like with the picture of little baby, there's information you have stored, there's experiences you have stored that you cannot think faster than. It's already there. And in the book, The Inner Game of Tennis, is separated this in the form of self 1 versus self 2. Self 1 is that judgmental, that critical, that thinking, that wordy brain, that wordy version of ourselves. And self 2 is the natural learner. It's the intuition, it's the instinct. And if you watch my last video, right, where I talked about the idea of an intuitive thought, a thought that comes from all our gathered knowledge, our deep foundation of ourselves, versus an intrusive thought, and a thought that comes from insecurity, a thought that comes from fear, a thought that comes from doubt, overthinking, and uncertainty. The difference between those 2 thoughts also go within this inner confidence I'm talking about, this spirit mind. This is why I love what books I'm reading are aligned. And I can link these books below. I can put them in the comments. And I can...
Feel me? If you need help, make sure you click that link in the description. Oh, damn. That's if you want 20,000 subscribers. My bad. I was just talking like y'all do YouTube. Because some people on here, they don't do YouTube. They just want to better themselves, and that's perfectly fine. I'm going to give you the systems and keys either way. If you want to be a YouTuber, if you don't, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like everybody should build a personal brand. If you want help on that, make sure you tune into the last video. Now, we on the third goal is to become a better us. Become a better you. How can we do this? Work out every day. What does working out every day do for my body? Working out every day makes me confident. Working out every day makes me feel good. Working out every day relieves stress. You know what I'm saying? Working out every day just makes me just feel like, bro, look how I'm busting out these shirts, bro. Like, this gives you confidence, bro. It makes you a better you. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention you implementing seeds for your future self. When you get older, you're going to have a nice body. You ain't going to look like all them dads pulling up their kids' school, fat as hell, don't even want to get out the car. You're going to be, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be able to play with your damn kids. You feel me? A lot of dads going to be sitting down while their kids running around the park. I'm going to be running around the park with my kids. You feel? I'm going to be running around with my kids because I'm putting in this groundwork right now to stay healthy. You feel me? Build a better body. By the way, number 2, eat healthy. Eat healthy, you feel me? Start cutting out all that processed foods. Start implementing good shit into your body. Eat some fruit, eat some vegetables, you know what I'm saying? Have a smoothie. You ain't gotta have french fries every day. I was the nigga eating french fries every motherfucking day, you know what I'm saying? I was eating bad shit every day, you feel me? I was doing that, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm cleansing my body. And I feel like it's starting to show. Like, I feel like my skin getting clearer, my brain getting more defogged, everything is starting to clear up, bro. And I'm glad that I'm doing this young. So if you young, make sure you start implementing this. If you a little older, make sure you start implementing this. And it ain't never too late for nobody. I've been seeing on this channel, bro, I be having a fan base who's a little older, fan base who's a little younger. If you made it this far, comment how old you is, you know what I'm saying? It's never too late and it's never too early. Make sure you start today, you know what I'm saying? So how can we become a better us? We can work out, we can eat healthy. What's the last thing we can do? We can get some knowledge, we can read books. Read books. What's the point of reading books, AB? Because I was a person that didn't read books, you feel me? Reading books literally condenses hundreds of years of knowledge into a single book. You can learn so much. Like, these people who write these books are highly successful people. It's like having a personal mentor in a book form. You read this book and you just get all these details, all these keys, all the things that made these people successful. You know what I mean? And you get that into your brain and you can use it how you feeling, how you willing. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much knowledge, so much wisdom in a book. Like, it is crazy that I just started reading books, bro. I'm so mad. But then again, it's never too late. It's never too early. I recommend reading books. You feel me? So, that's the end of step 2. As you can see, we put systems in place to reach these goals. Why do you need systems to reach goals? Because I'm gonna give y'all a quote, bro. It is not about the destination, it's about the journey. Fuck the destination, fall in love with the journey. What does that mean, AB? Fuck the destination, fall in love with the journey. So step 1, we wrote our goals. Our goals is the destination. Step number 2, we wrote our systems. Our systems is the journey. If you fall in love with the systems and just have the goals out there, bro, the goals are going to be a byproduct, bro. You don't want to follow.
And for y'all, I'm going to point this out, though. If you're listening to my explanation, everything I'm saying is making sense, you're following me so far, the next part I want to move into is how we get into the spirit mind. How we move our ego mind away from what it's bad at. Really talented at, but bad at. It doesn't help us in any way, shape, or form. And move into our body, back into our bodies, move into the present, and tap into that instinct and potential that we have. Naturally, that's already there. Remember, overthinking is underperforming. There's a direct connection between trying harder and performing worse. So what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to navigate? Point out this. First of all, you draw the line in the sand that there's no in between of being in control and no in between of being out of control. You're either in control or you're out of control. Now, it doesn't mean of all the conditions around you. It doesn't mean of I'm gonna control what this person is gonna do and that person is gonna do, and I can foresee every event. I got a crystal ball. I'm just gonna predict how it goes perfectly. It doesn't mean that. What it simply means is, as you go about your choices and as you go about what you focus on consciously and what you pay attention to and you remind yourself of, are you in control of that? There's a couple words that and phrases that help me and remind me of this. One phrase being, I got it. Try to overthink and say those 3 words. Try to overthink, try hard, work hard, and panic while repeating to yourself with a deep breath, I got it. The 2 don't exist. The belief in the core and the power of the word choice, and I got it, is completely different from an overthinking mood. The power and the energy behind overthinking and insecurity and doubt and anxiety. The energies are totally separate. Other than I got it is things like you got it. You can even separate the entity in your head of yourself and just remind yourself that you are the observer, you are the awareness, not the human being itself, but the experiencer. You remind yourself of these things. I got it, you got it. And then another 2 words I love, so what? Oh, damn, what if this fuck up and then that happens to my career and so what? Try to panic and say so what, and I got it, with deep breaths and just sitting on and focusing on the expression of those words and the truth that lies in those words. Cause so what? If it kills you, let that be. If that's literally the worst case of your scenario, like you literally die, like that's your so what, then holy shit, I don't know who you need to talk to, what kind of situation you're in. You know what I'm saying? I love you, I hope the best for you, but no, I took to the left though. Like, at least you have yourself. At least you're standing firm on the sincerity of reminding yourself that you are in your body. You are there for yourself. You will be there. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. You have to remind yourself of these things by not overthinking, though. It has to be simple. Remember,
love with these goals, bro, because I seen people fall in love with the goals, and once they reach their goals, they kind of let off on the systems. They let off on the shit that got them there. Why would you do that? It got you there, you know what I mean? So you want to kind of detach from these, and y'all probably never heard nobody ever say this shit. You want to detach from these goals. Don't get me wrong, we gonna reach them bitches. It ain't like we saying fuck the goals, I don't want them. No, we just detaching from them so we can fall in love with these systems. Because these systems not only gonna get us to these goals that we just set, it's gonna get us past them, and it's gonna get us to reach new ones. It's gonna get us to reach higher ones, and that's always the goal, to excel. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal, is to reach the goals and keep going. You don't want to reach the goals and stay there. Fuck no. Hell no, you don't want to reach the goals and stay there. You want to reach them goals and keep going, keep pushing. You feel me? So what is step number 3, AB? So now that you got your systems for all this shit, now that you got the systems for all this shit, I'm about to copy and paste just so it could be easier on me. Now that you got systems for all this, step number 3 is a plan. Damn. Step number 3 is a plan. So what does this mean, AB? Creating a plan. Creating a plan for me is basically having what you gonna do. Undo now. Having what you gonna do on a plan for your everyday life, bro. You want to structure this in for everyday life. How you gonna do this shit every day? So I'm gonna make a simple chart right now. You know what I mean? A simple ass chart. This is the type shit I be doing. Excuse me if it's sloppy. I don't want to bore y'all, waste y'all time. Damn. I don't want to bore y'all and waste y'all time, so I'm doing this kind of fastly. Fuck it, we gonna copy and paste this. But right here, we are basically creating our plan on how we can achieve this shit every day. Like I told y'all, we detaching from the goals and getting our systems right. So first off, we got to see what time we wake up every morning, and we got to see what time we got time to do certain stuff. You might have a job, so however this is, work your job in, make sure you accommodate that time. The best thing to budget is your motherfucking life and your time, bro, because time is the most valuable resource. You know what I'm saying? We got to budget this better than we budget anything else. So let's say you wake up at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's say you wake up at 6 a.m. and you want to be to sleep at 8 p.m. So 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. we got this shit all right here. So now all you do is put these systems onto this. That's all you got to do. So let's say you work. We're going to put this whole thing out. We're going to put it on red. Let's say you work from 9 to 5. This is very, very realistic. A lot of people work from 9 to 5. Let's say you work from 9 to 5. We just gonna go ahead and block all of that out, bro. We're gonna go ahead and block all of that out. Let's say you work from 9 to 5. And another thing that this gonna do is it's gonna cut out all your fucked up bad habits too, bro. Because bad habits is just bad habits because you got the time to do them. For example, watching Netflix, watching bullshit, eating bullshit. You know what I mean? You do that because you ain't got time to do nothing else. So now we cut out 9 to 5. We got 6, 7, 8. We got 6, 7, 8. You feel me? This literally, as you can see, is 6 hours that you can do anything in the world. These tasks don't take 6 hours, bro. You know what I'm saying? These tasks take like 30 minutes. As you can see, we got a task that's 1 hour a day on a high income skill. Okay, cool.
Remember, the spirit mind is simple. It works in images. Before we knew how to speak a language, we knew how to our eyes came before our language. What we can see, what we can learn. We are very, very herd-like creatures. When we watch somebody do things, a lot of times when somebody has a talent or a skill, they sometimes say, I don't know how to explain it. I can't put it in words, because they literally can't. The best thing they can do is do it, because experience is the best teacher. That will be my last and third and final point. If number 1 is separating the ego mind versus the spirit mind, number 2 being the words you want to remind yourself of, and the focus point you want to put it on, and reminding yourself to go into your trust of yourself, being as number 2. My third one will finally be experience is the best teacher. This is something I constantly remind myself of now that I became aware of how natural and instinctual our bodies are, of how when we watch somebody do something, when we watch somebody say something over and over and over, we pick it up without even knowing it. It might even pop up in our dreams. This whole idea of like you watch a scary movie and then you have a nightmare. You're not trying to remember that. You're not trying to take that into your sleep or with you the next day. It follows you, it comes with you. And that's just an example of a reminder. I'll give you an example that was used in Atomic Habits. And I love this example because it shows that experience is the best teacher and what difference does it make. You had 2 groups of 2 classrooms over a course of a semester, which is like maybe 3 or 4 months. So both of these classes, right? Both of these students, these groups of students had 2 different teaching styles. One group of students had a project every week. Every week they had an art project or a photography project, I believe. They had to like take a picture and edit it or some type of creative work, right? The second group of students had one project for the entire 3 months. One project that they had to do from beginning to end. One. So by the end of the 3 months, they just had to turn that one project in. Now, on the surface, most people would think that the group who had 3 months to do it would have turned out with the better work. You had 3 months to perfect it. You had 3 months to review it, analyze it, get it done. You had 3 months to perfect what you had to work on. But at the end of it, the group that did better was the group that had a project every week. Because every week they got to work on their flaws. Every week they got to figure something out, learn something new. You know, the artist who has 200 songs is most likely better than the artist who has 2. Because of the experience of creating, the experience of writing, the experience of figuring things out and adapting over time is something we can't even understand about ourselves. We learn things and know things all the time. We learn behaviors, information, and all types of information that we pick up without even trying. That is the instinct of our natural learning. That is the version of us that is within self too, the spirit, mind, the body. The mind of the body, or I like to call it different names like the mind's eye. It works like the mind's eye to me. Because to me, it's very spiritual. It doesn't work off words. It's very visual. It's very, I see it this way, and I'm trusting into that image and letting things happen. The ego mind tries to make things happen. It tries to force.
So how we gonna do this is this. We need time to dedicate 1 hour a day to a high income skill. And all you're doing is taking from your systems and implementing them into your calendar, into your schedule every day. So 1 hour a day on a high income skill, we got that at 7. Okay, cool. We blocked that out. We good. You know what I'm saying? Make a YouTube video every day. When can we have time to make a video every day? Let's see. Copy. Okay, cool. At 6 o'clock, guess what? We all work. We can make a video. It's all you doing, bro. You just scheduling your time. Make a video every day. You know what I'm saying? Talk about YouTube. Study YouTube. You could do all this. You could do both of these at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Because on AB Academy, link in the description, we talk about that shit literally every day. So you can study YouTube for 30 minutes. And then you can double back and talk about YouTube at the same exact time. So literally, as you can see, all we doing, bro, is implementing everything that we said that could make us a better person. And we putting this shit into our calendar, bro. Talk about YouTube, study YouTube. This one done. You feel me? Stick to a budget. All you gotta do is stick to a budget is do it every day. That's not even something you gotta schedule. That's something you just gotta do. So that's already gone. Consume only money. Consume only topics about money and YouTube, because that's your 2 goals. So in order to consume only money, that's another thing that you ain't gotta put no time into, bro. When you driving to work, when you at work, you listen to music. You figure out ways and find time to listen to music. Find time to listen to podcasts about expanding your money muscle. You know what I'm saying? Easy. That's out the way. You feel me? And then what I said is cutting out your bad habits. You find time to listen to music. You find time to watch Netflix. Bro, put it on your podcast to listen to educational, informational. Put a time on your podcast to I mean, put a time on your schedule to watch stuff like this that I'm talking about, positive stuff, bro. Just implement positive habits into your schedule. As you can see, the first 2 is done. Now let's talk about becoming a better us. Let's talk about how we can eat healthy. That's another thing that happens throughout the course of the day. You don't have to plan it, bro. Boom. Let's talk about working out. Let's see how much time we got to work out and read books. Because it's time for everything as long as you make it. Look, guess what? 7 o'clock. Boom. You got time to work out. And working out don't even take an hour. For me, I'm going to be honest. For me, it take me 30 minutes to work out. It take me 30 minutes to read a book. Guess what?
Things. It works based on feeling like being in control by constantly analyzing, reflecting, and nitpicking and such things. It's the example of self 1 versus self 2 is almost like a parenting style. The parent who sits back and lets their child fall and hurt their knee is going to be, that child is going to be 10 times better off because that child will learn way better. And another example I love with this is, I always say, you could tell a child a million things, right? Like, that stove is hot, don't touch it. But that child, next thing you know, you walk away, that child, all you're going to hear is, ah, because they just touched the fucking stove. Because that's the courage to perform, the courage to learn that we have naturally in us as a baby. And it's like beaten out of us to experiment. It's beaten out of us to experience, to learn through experience. Because we know naturally as we are born, experience is the best teacher. And even if we can take someone else's words and advice, we truly believe something after we test it out, after we experience it. So that's the message I wanted to leave with this video. And, you know, it changed a lot about me. I'm going to give you like a couple practical examples. Now, at anything I do, it could be going to the gym. It could be playing a game. It could be editing. It could be creating. Repetition. I look more towards experience and repetition more than anything. I don't look towards, I'm going to figure out that perfect thumbnail. I'm going to figure out that perfect title. I'm going to figure out that perfect video or whatever. This video, I even had to tell myself, just press record and let it come out. Let the explanation come out. Let it go. I got it. You practicing in anything you do. There's that urgency and that trust of do it now and I got it. There's so many things we know instinctually. I'll leave it with this because I was on a call with a guy on Patreon and I also noticed the spirit mind when I said, listen, realize how much you know without even trying. Because, you know, most of the time I'll be coaching guys on dating advice and stuff. So I'm like, you could see a woman and know you automatically are attracted to her or want to speak to her without even saying it out loud. You look and see and you know, right? Then you second guess. Then you doubt. Then you overthink. These are secondary things. They are not instinct. They are not the first thought. Our first thought is not, we can't get her. She's out of our league. That comes up after we see her and realize that we want to talk to her and like her. And then we talk ourselves out of it. Had we acted on our instinct, we might have got her. Shit, you already don't have her. She already not in your life. You can always. I saw a clip, it's the boy Michi, YouTuber, being with Primetime and stuff. He said, you already don't got her. You can go back to that.
Listen, you miss 100% of shots you don't take. Listen, you already don't got her.
Right.
You already didn't hit.
Right.
You already don't got her number.
Fact.
So,
You can go back to that.
So, so she say no, who gives a fuck?
Okay,
Just do it.
We can lean more into our trust and that inner confidence that we have when we don't overthink and we trust our performance. We trust our ability to learn from experience. We trust ourselves too. We trust our natural instincts. Begs the question, I'm going to leave out this video. Why do we overthink? Why do we have these big ass heads and these big ass brains if they work against us in so many ways? I don't know, maybe a topic for another video. I love y'all. Dojo to the moon to Saturn, and we leave in the solar system. The limbs don't even know we exist. You did.
Boom, working out and reading a book. I'm telling you from my personal experiences, bro. Ah, damn, my pen went dead. My pen went dead. Oh man. Hold on. Oh no, we back. Working out and reading books. Boom. 30 minutes apiece. The whole 7 o'clock. Now, as you can see, we literally, and this is assuming that you sleep 8 hours a day, which is this is more than sleeping 8 hours a day, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bro, that's 11 hours of sleep, nigga. Like, bro, this is assuming you sleeping 10 hours a day and working 8 hours a day. And you can still get all of this done. A lot of people make excuses on not having enough time. Literally, if you schedule it out like this, you will see how much time you have. And this, we didn't even put nothing on 6 o'clock. We didn't even put nothing on 8 o'clock, and we still got all of this shit done. You know what I mean? So I hope this is implementing in your brain how you can achieve goals. All you gotta do, bro, is figure out what you're doing in the day. Figure out what you can do in the day. And you ain't even got to cut out bad habits. They going to cut out themselves. If you do this shit, you ain't going to have time to do no bad shit. You see what I'm saying? And these goals don't got to be your goals. Like I said, do it with your own goals. Do it with your own systems, bro. And, yeah, do this for like 3 months. Hit me up. Let me know how I go. I guarantee you, if you haven't reached that goal, you're going to be way, way closer to reaching that goal. I kid you not. I promise you, bro. This is my advice for the day. I hope y'all hearing this shit, man. Avery B. out.